Well, I just had somebody ask me that it didn't seem like it was a 38-10 win, and it just seemed kind of monotonous. And I said, what, that's really the way we would love to do it, is have the ability to, kind of monotonous, grind things out, both offensively and defensively. But I think some guys forget they'd seen what had happened the last couple of weeks, slinging the ball down the field, and what Desmond Ridder had done through the air. And it was just a little bit different tonight. And I think that's what I love. I think the ability for our offense to kind of do what it is they did, Jared Doaks, to run the football, really gives a lot of energy and momentum to us, offensively as well as defensively. There was a point in time when I thought we were having a little bit of a struggle defensively with some big plays, and had our first real kind of test, a little bit of adversity. And that offense really picked us up defensively with their ability to run the football, and especially come out that second half and pretty much just kind of put it away in that first drive.
All right, go on questions.
Coach, how much does it impact the continuity of the defense, not only having Arquan out, but then James goes out early?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we've gone through a lot of things. We've missed Jaquan Shepard there for a few weeks, and trying to get him back into the mix of being able to roll in there at corner, and having Arquan out, then James goes out, and so it was a shuffle. But I think that's what you're seeing. That you give a lot of credit to the coaches, Coach Freeman, Coach Hitchler, Coach Perry, and those guys, the ability to move the guys around, prepare them for whatever is going to happen, because sometimes you just don't know. But it's a big hit when James Wiggins goes out. That's a big hit to us. But I'm proud to see those guys be able to step up.
Any update on James?
James Wiggins.
He
looked good. I mean, I think that they did all the tests and stuff. I think he was all right. I hope and believe he could have come back if he really needed to. But he was back in there in the locker room at halftime, and I think it was pretty good to go.
The past 3 weeks in particular, doesn't seem to be anything you guys are surprised by on any area of the special teams, offense, defense. Can you talk about the preparation of the players specifically and how they're responding to game plans during the week?
Well, I think that year 4 is really paying off for us. I think that the core nucleus of the coaches that we've had, from obviously Coach Denbrock and Coach Gino and Coach Crook offensively, with the continuity, and then Coach Freeman, Coach Mason, and those guys defensively, the continuity that they've had. And then our players. So they have the continuity with what it is we've done and how we've grown. So when you go into games and you can make little adjustments, which we have to do most every game, especially tonight, I think it allows us to really kind of grow. And our guys kind of excited about that. They enjoy that during the week, and their ability to understand what it is we're doing, and then kind of play the chess match a little bit too.
Coach, how impressed are you just by these wins? It's not sneaking by. It's 20, 30 points last 3 weeks. How impressed are you just with your team? I think I asked you about it earlier in the week, just blocking out all the noise that you don't want to talk about with the college football playoff and all that and the obvious. How proud are you of these guys to go out there and handle business, but also do it in an impressive way, and a statement that you probably need to make to be in that conversation?
Well, I am. I think this one tonight is as impressive for me, just because of all the noise, and it's great to see and kind of see it develop. I think tonight, just by what the coaches have done and their ability to get their messages through to them, our ability to kind of stay together, and battle through. It'll continue, but the unselfishness that it brings when attention starts to come to you, But when you've got leaders like Desmond Ridder, like Jared Doaks, like Derek Forrest, like James Wiggins, a lot of those guys up front, offensively and defensively, it really gives you an opportunity to handle success in the right way. And we need to continue it, but I really believe in what it is our guys have done, in the way that we're built, I hope.
Kind of a bigger picture question here. When you took this job, was it because you believed you could have a season like this quickly at UC?
Well, I think you always, any coach that takes a job believes that, no matter what the situation, no matter what the history of the school, I'm going to be able to do what I envision doing. I don't know. I think I'm happiest about seeing how it's been done, with the type of kids we've done it with, and the growth of a lot of these kids and the development of a lot of them as football players, physically, mentally, emotionally, and all those areas. This is a crew that has gone through a lot of things. I think that's what people don't realize. The Derek Force, the Desmond Ridders of the world that were here in year one, when we were lucky to win 3 games, or we should have only won 1 game. And what it has taken for us to get there, I think that really gives you an opportunity to stay humbled and understand what it takes.
Coach
Des
Tyvan.
and Jared. Des and Jared will get a lot of the credit tonight, and maybe rightfully so. But this is now the 5th straight week where opposing offenses were held to 13 points or fewer. Can you just speak on that unit and how well they're playing right now?
Well, the combination of what it is that they're doing. I mean, there might not be statistics tonight, with Amaje Sanders and Curtis Brooks and Elijah Ponder and those guys up front, but they do an unbelievable job, and they create a lot of havoc, and even without tackles for loss, they create a lot of havoc to people in their preparation. So the balance between those guys up front being really relentless at what they do, our ability, to be able to play on body coverage gives us an opportunity to do some other things. If we couldn't do that, if we didn't have some of those guys that felt comfortable doing it, it would be much more difficult defensively. But you got to give a lot of credit to obviously the players and to Coach Freeman and Coach Hitch and Coach Scruggs, who's done an unbelievable job with those guys up front. It's a whole group that is really kind of honed in on what it is that we do well and what we need to do to eliminate what other people do well.
Coach, every time you've called on Tyvan Fossen over the past couple of weeks, it seems like he's flying around and making plays. I'm just curious, has he earned a new nickname yet?
I think I heard Stallion on the sideline, so the Pony Boy may have just kind of went by the wayside, and I think Tyvan Fossen will be known as Tyvan Fossen or the Stallion from now on.
The sequence right before halftime where you guys hold them to a field goal, get the big kickoff return, and get a quick score. Did you feel like that pretty much set the tone for the second half as well?
I mean, that's when people don't see they say, that wasn't a monotonous kind of game. And it wasn't, all of a sudden it's 38-10, but there's a lot of those kinds of things that are just body blows to people. I mean, you can't imagine the emotional shift that, we get a stop after a big play. They kick a field goal. They got to kick the ball off with 35 seconds left, and Trey Tucker almost takes it to the house, and then we get the ball down and actually score a touchdown. And then actually have another shot at the end. Just those kinds of things are blows that any team is going to be really difficult physically, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally to be able to overcome. And that's why I'm so proud of these guys come out the second half and do what we did offensively to really kind of probably take them out of it.
Was there any thought to test Cole's leg at 56 yards at the end of the half?
I actually thought that at first, but I don't maybe cooler heads prevailed, and Coach Mason, those guys thought it'd be better to take a shot at the end zone. So I would like to have given him a shot. I wish I maybe would have.
Coach Jimmy Smith became UC's all-time leader in punting yards today. How big of a factor is he on that special teams unit and on the team?
Well, it's too bad because all I can think about is the one that went into the end zone where we missed the guy, and he found a way to get it off. And he's probably going to be so disappointed because I think that's only the second ball in his 4 years, the third ball.
Third
ball in his 4 years of punting that has actually gone into the end zone. So he is a weapon. I mean, and I'm just grateful we got him.
Coach, can you even explain your team's confidence that they're playing with right now? It just seems like no matter how, if Houston climbs back into it right at the end of the second half, like someone just asked about, and then your team just kind of keeps the head up and keeps turning. Can you just express just how confident they're playing right now?
Well, I think that has to do with all 3 phases, and that's where that competition against each other. I really do. The time at higher ground that was so uniquely different this year, it still allows us to compete with one another. And when we do that, the ability for us to grow. Sometimes we have to fight with one another at times in order to grow, but what it has done is made us so much stronger. And we just feel like no matter what the situation, somebody's going to pick us up. If the defense is struggling, I mean, the offense is right there, and vice versa. So I think you need to have some of those adverse situations. You need to have some of those struggles in order to grow, and I think that's why we gain the confidence we have right now. You can ask them.
Any other questions for Coach?
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Career high 184 yards on the ground tonight. Go for questions.
Jared, I know we always talk about getting into a rhythm as a running back. How fast do you get into a rhythm when you go for 72 yards on the first drive?
Pretty quick, pretty quick. You know, it just really warms you up, gets you ready to go for the next time.
How mad were you that you got caught?
Oh man, it is what it is. I got in the end zone eventually.
Your best play of the game might have been that one-hand catch on fourth down, even with all the rushing yards you had. What did that play look like for you?
Just a simple arrow route. You know, the team probably didn't think I could catch that well, but you know, it just coming in clutch when the team needs it. You know, making plays.
What's it like playing on the other side of this defense where, you know, right now at least you get 2 touchdowns, you're probably going to win the game with 14 points, and that's got to give an offense a lot of confidence that keep plugging away and eventually it's going to, you know, work out.
Yeah, definitely. Just knowing our defense is playing at the high level they play at, you know, it gives us all the confidence in the world. You know, we go out there and make plays. It just puts us in the best position we can be. You know, that's where we come in. We just got to execute our role.
Seemed like the first couple of drives they were keying on Dez, opening things up for you, and then they started to crash in on you. Was that the way it looked?
Yeah. You know, Dez tends to run, use his legs more now, so, but it's all good. Dual threat back there.
There were some moments today where, you know, it wasn't quite, you know, as convincing. You know, the margin was similar, but Fickell said it wasn't as dominant of a game as you had. What does it show that this team can win ugly, that this team can win, you know, when it's closer early on and you can still pull out for a dominant win?
Yeah, you know, just like how we trained. We're just ready to battle no matter what, no matter situation we're in. We're ready to just put in the hard work, put in the work, and come out on top.
Jared, do you think this team deserves to be in the college football playoff talk?
Absolutely, no doubt.
Why?
And why not? You know, we put in hard work just as much as other teams do. You know, why not get a shot?
This game being on ABC today, did you guys want to make a statement with the world watching, like, hey, we can play with anybody?
You know, our goal is to make a statement every week. You know, just go out there and dominate. You know, just people's gonna take it however they want, but you know, we just gonna go out there and play ball. You know, do the best we can.
Does being in a non-Power 5 league, does that kind of give you a chip on your shoulder, maybe motivate you more because people maybe doubt you even though you're ranked 6?
Yes, you know, yes and no, because you know, when it comes to recruiting, everybody can be 5-star and all that, going up to these big schools, but we got all the talent in the world here, just slept on. You know, now everybody's starting to wake up.
Jared, is all of this any more special given your redshirt season, what, you know, the struggles the team went through, and then Coach Fick's first year not playing well, you know, that year either, and now to see, you know, potentially top 5 in the country, how rewarding is that to you?
Man, it's real rewarding, you know, just coming here and just seeing things go downhill. Everything's not promised, you know. and then just seeing everybody buy in and the success is being made, it just, it's a great feeling, especially being a part of it, it just feels real good.
Is there a bond with any of you guys on the team that are in that fifth year that maybe got here right before Coach Fickell did and stuck it out, and now you're seeing on the other side what it's like?
Yeah, definitely. The people in my class that came in when Tupperville was here, those that stayed, we all just look back. We always sometimes sit in the locker room, we look back and like, dang, like who thought this is where we would be right now? But, we all glad we stayed and doing what we do now.
Everybody good? All right, we'll flip out, bring Des in. All right, quarterback Desmond Ridder, go ahead with your questions.
Des, do you feel like you've ever had a stretch or a run like this, whether just in college or even stretching back to high school where you played this well?
You can go out there and say I'm playing well and everything, but, I'm just going out there and playing football. And, obviously, the stats and everything speak for itself. But, I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm just going out there and having fun and playing the game I love.
With you doing what you're doing, with Jared running as well as he's running, as a defense, you don't know who to commit to in that read option. Is this exactly what you wanted and what you envisioned with you guys back there?
Yeah, and this is what I've talked about, almost since I've got here. Even with Mike and all the other guys, if I'm having a big day, and the running backs might not be having a good day, then that's because the ends and stuff are taking them. And we just open up holes for each other, and it just makes it easier in the long run.
It seemed like that first couple drives they were keying in on you and seemed to open things up for Jared. Did that change then? Were they looking more at the running back after he broke out a couple times and opened things up for you at all?
I can't tell you what's going on in the defensive end's heads, but it just makes it easy sometimes when they key on one person rather than another.
You've been beating that drum a lot lately, time after time. Does it get old at all? You getting used to it?
No, it never gets old here in 6 beats. I'll do that every time we can.
What's the biggest difference between this team and the teams that have won 10 games the past 2 seasons?
I would just say, honestly, just, the toughness and the grit, really, when it comes down to it. I think we're able to execute a lot better. There's still the brotherhood's still there and everything's still good. That's why we're rolling in the same position as we have been the past couple of years.
What's going through your head when you step up in the pocket and the field opens up like it has for you so many times over the past couple of weeks, where you've been able to escape up the middle and next thing you know, you're heading towards the end zone?
Just make a play. That's about it. Once I get out of the pocket, I know just to protect the ball and, just try to get to the end zone. Place I love, so why not go there?
Fick always claims he has no idea what you guys are ranked and all the outside talk and stuff like that. Is that true within the walls too? Does he try and hide rankings from you and all that kind of stuff?
Obviously he doesn't try to hide it because, that obviously just can't happen, but we don't talk about it very much. We come in here and we do our work every single day. We hope for it to pay off on the weekends, and that's what it does.
This is now the 5th straight game where your defense has allowed 13 or fewer points. How does that help your confidence as a leader of the offense to know your defense is coming regardless? Does that help your confidence?
Yeah, it makes us go just that much harder. We know that we have a great defense on the back end and on the front end and overall. And, when we go out there and play and we know that they're going to shut them down, it just makes it that much easier for us to go execute and score points.
Kind of piggybacking off that, Des, can you explain the confidence of this team? Houston tried to creep back in at the end of the first half, and then you guys just put your foot on the gas, and you guys have won by 20, 30 plus the past 3 weeks. What is it about this team and the character of the guys around you that just makes you guys go and have this confidence?
I would just say, it's the character of the whole team, and it's really what Coach Fick has built since we've gotten here, and that's tough and nasty, physical Clifton style, and that's how we play. And Coach always tells us, just put the foot on the pedal. Never let up. Body blows. It's his big thing this year. because we wear teams out, they're not going to want to play with us, especially only scoring 13 points, I think, like you said. So it really makes it difficult for them to really get, a sense of momentum or anything going.
Pretty good. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Des.